We're live. We're live. We're live.
We're alive, man. We got the mic on?
Yes.
Good. Hopefully we don't have any audio challenges. So today we think we have an interesting topic, and it's also Monday, first day of the work week.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about how your weekend went, but we're also going to talk about this broad topic of wellness.
Wellness.
And that includes mental, spiritual, social, environmental, and vocational.
That's a lot of wellness.
Well, all of that. And it's not even counting your health, physical health.
You didn't even touch on that.
But you could count that in wellness too.
You could. We're going to talk about it back in a moment.
Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like. We're live. We're back. Hey, Miss Phyllis, good morning to you. Please let us know if you got our audio good, if you can hear us fine, everything is going well. We had some challenges last week, but today we're talking about wellness. Wellness.
How do you take care of your own mental, spiritual self? How do you take care of your own mental, spiritual, social self? All those things matter. Spiritual, mental, spiritual, social.
Miss Phyllis says we are all good. Amen.
Maybe, because we're not sure still. We can't really tell for sure that the help. We have the mic on now. If the mic helps or not.
Yes, we just want to be sure. We want to see if it's helping and make sure that we are doing our best to get the message out to you.
So that's our topic. And the weekend also. Hope you had a great weekend. Lisa and I had a wonderful weekend too.
We had a busy weekend.
But this weekend was different in a way to me. I'm gonna tell you why I think it was different. This weekend was different. We had an opportunity both to speak in front of a room
and to see Dr. Beverly
on Saturday, and to see Dr. Beverly and get our
and Lou Williams.
And Lou Williams. Yes, Lou Williams was at one of our showcases before.
Absolutely.
So I found the picture.
Yeah.
But also Sunday, we got a chance to see our friend and author, Miss Phyllis Moore. I'm not Phyllis Moore, Cynthia Moore.
Yeah.
Cynthia Moore at her family reunion, and she was working it, man. It was beautiful to see her sell her books to her family. It was beautiful. And then after that, we got a chance to visit with a friend of ours, a dear friend of ours in Greensboro.
Absolutely.
But when I look at this weekend, as we had several opportunities that we embraced to minister. We got a chance to minister all weekend. Minister others, minister friends, hear people out. We got a chance to be ministers this weekend.
Amen.
Do you agree with that thought?
Yeah.
Did you see it the same way I did?
Yeah. I just don't usually think of it the same way. I think of every day as ministry.
Yeah, but sometimes just more. Sometimes it's true, every day is ministry, but sometimes just more, That's what I appreciate. I'm grateful to God for giving us opportunities to minister, to be helpful to the world, as best we can. Because that's what I think we're here to do.
Amen.
Yep. Miss Phyllis, did you have a good weekend? You should have heard Lisa preach on Saturday night. I gave a good talk before Lisa, and Pastor Veronica Daughtry, I did an intro of Lisa already, but she wanted to say her few words when Lisa got up there, which I think was beautiful, the way she brought you up with a song, and I thought that was great. I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. And then Lisa got a chance to minister, and she was good. And I enjoyed her ministry so much, so you should have saw that, Miss Phyllis. And then we just had a great weekend,
Absolutely. We did a lot of driving again.
That's 2 weekends in a row where we've done a lot of driving. We got to stop that.
A lot of driving. I'm grateful that you don't balk at all that driving because there's not much I could do to help. I felt like I was like going to a couple of times say I can do it, but then we got on those highways and those trucks were just doing all kind of crazy things.
I've settled in, baby. I've settled in. Locally, Lisa can drive, but long distance, we'll take more breaks if we have to, but I'll just drive.
Amen.
Which is what we got to do. We just got to take more breaks, you know. But I'm not afraid of the highways. I can drive. Now, if I'm driving, it's going to include a lot of me complaining about other drivers. Mm-hmm. Okay, because that's what I do. That's how I stay alert. Look at this fool. Oh, why are they in that lane? Why did they come over here? That's how I drive on the highway, Miss Phyllis.
Miss Phyllis says, LOL, I was in Savannah, came back the same day.
What? What? You came back where from the same day? You flew to Savannah and flew back the same day? Wow. Savannah Jow.
Amen. But wellness is not only about the physical moving and health element of wellness. Wellness is also peace of mind, state of mind. It has a lot to do with what you're allowing yourself to concentrate on.
What you're allowing yourself to concentrate on has a lot to do with your wellness. I think that's true. Flatulate a little more, baby, on that thought.
I think that when you have the opportunity to be around, if you're given an opportunity to take your mind off of something that's like a mental vacation. It gives you a chance to be somewhere else mentally. And then it gives you a chance to refresh and renew your thinking.
Yeah, because stress comes. And one of the interesting things that's come up to me, because I have adult children, and all of them, despite their age, I'm talking about from the 21-year-old, 25-year-old, 28-year-old, 30-year-olds, they all have expressed to me how life is hard.
And there's different stressors at every
age. But they feel pressured. And even at that young age, much less in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, there's different pressures at every age and every stage. That's true.
Absolutely.
So knowing this, I think Lisa was going down that road. We have to develop strategies, I think.
Absolutely. Shout out to my Aunt Cynthia. Her birthday was this weekend.
She's in her 80s.
84.
And partied. And Miss Phyllis, check this out. This woman's 84 years old. We was on the phone with her. She had just went out the night before. She goes, man, I was home by 1 o'clock. That's early for me. I'll never go to no parties and get home by 1 o'clock. I normally, my mouth is on the floor. Party until 1 o'clock, and that's early for you. You 84.
20 years ago, maybe I was.
I don't party like that.
No.
Even 20 years ago,
no.
I would have been 35.
No.
I'm still not partying that late. No way.
Amen.
What? Shouts out to Miss Phyllis' uncle.
Amen. 97.
What an amazing, beautiful thing to live to be 97 and 84. To get to that age is beautiful to me. Yes. I would love to get to 97 as well, or 100, even better. Because the stories you could tell.
Amen.
That 97-year-old uncle, the things he could talk to you about, the stories he could tell. My grandfather, when I was probably 12, 13, he was much older. Of course, he's my grandfather. And I asked him one time, what's the best president that you can remember? Now, at the time, I think we were still in New York. So this had to be, in the early 80s. Okay. And I said, what's the best president that you can remember, grandfather? And he thought about it, and he said, surprised me, his answer was, he said the best president I can remember was Kennedy. Kennedy.
Why did that surprise you?
Why did it surprise me?
Yeah.
I don't know why it surprised me. I was a teenager.
And I'm surprised you even asked that question.
I just want to hear what he said. Yeah.
I guess, but I mean, that's not a typical question that a teenager would find interesting to talk about.
Oh, I was a different kind of teenager.
Well, we know that.
Yes, I was a different kind of teenager. And he said Kennedy, because he thought Kennedy did a lot for Black people. I said, well, Granddad, he was only there for 3 years. He got assassinated. He goes, I know, but in his time there, he did a lot. So
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
I thought that was typical, actually.
What?
The Kennedy would be a typical response.
Oh,
Absolutely. But wellness is about more than moving and even sometimes more than thinking. Sometimes it can be just about being, finding a state of mind that you can find peace in and resting there. Rest there and consider the blessing in it. Sometimes taking a moment to just count your blessings is a really um it it can really change your mind, your mood.
it does, and I'm really hoping that you guys will make suggestions too. Like Miss Phyllis, what do you do, or how do you maintain your wellness? I'm talking about mental, spiritual, social. How do you maintain you? You know, I know you walk for exercise, and that's beautiful, and that's probably the best exercise is simply walking. Because it does a lot for the heart. Um, but besides that physical, and you probably stretch, and people can stretch, and people can walk, people can lift weights, people can do all kinds of exercises. Okay, but other than that, how do you deal with the day-to-day stressors to maintain your wellness? Because some people that do that well.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people that can put on a cheery disposition, and there are some people that can actually live in the spirit, live in joy, despite stuff.
Well, I'm finding some excitement because I have finally, this week, project that I've been working on for quite some time. I've received the final. It's going to have to be 1:30. There was another book slotted for 1:30, but this one, the scheduling, the timing that it's come out,
It's
is
book number 130.
Yeah.
So, you
So
haven't counted this book before in any of the numbers?
no. So I have two different ways that I number the books. I number them how they've come in, like the number of the start of the contract, but then they also get a number for the end of their contract.
That's the one I would use.
Most of the time, they're the same number,
Mm-hmm.
but this number would have been 5. This was not 5. This was 6. This was project number 6. Good morning, Dr. Deborah. But because of the problems associated with the project and getting it put together properly and everything like that, it has moved from project number 6 5 years ago or 6 years ago to project number 130.
Now, Lisa doesn't have projects like she's only had one project that took years, and this is it. Okay, but actually, yeah, that's it. But good morning, Dr. Deborah, as well. Good morning, Sister Kimberly Marie Jackson. I'm hopeful that you guys had great weekends as well. Lisa and I, we had great weekends. We had opportunities to minister on both Saturday and Sunday, which was wonderful for us. I appreciate opportunity. And I had a chance to pray one-on-one with a friend of mine.
Amen.
A brother.
Amen.
That
was Kimberly Marie Jackson, Decadence Popcorn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey.
Kimberly Marie Jackson, I got to tell you, we went to...
I didn't know Marie was her middle name.
I didn't know it either until she's posted it. But we went to Black Wall Street in Atlanta.
And they had some bootleg popcorn.
It wasn't bootleg.
Yes, it was. It was not decadence. It was not decadence. It was not decadent. And it was, they could have kept it. But I was supporting Black-owned businesses.
They were attempting a gourmet coffee.
And it was nowhere near gourmet.
It was probably good, but it wasn't as good as Kimberly's popcorn.
I'm sorry. I'm not even going to do that.
You're not even going to do that? It was probably good? It was not.
Nope.
The difference is
decadence popcorn is decadent.
With Kimberly's popcorn, Kimberly Marie Jackson's company is called Decadence Popcorn. The difference is when you open up her bag,
it's an experience,
and you can't put it down.
No, I put this bag
You might
down.
say to yourself when you open up, I'm going to have just a little bit of popcorn.
With
and
decadence,
I'm going to close
you're going to go.
And I'm going to pick it up again later. I'm going to save something for later. It don't make it home.
I know. It doesn't.
When we were seeing Kimberly more often, we were getting more often we were getting bags. And it got to the place, Kimberly, where we could not share a bag of your popcorn anymore.
I had my own earmarked for me. and he had his own, but it was hidden because he didn't want to leave it open and unattended because it was not going to stand a chance.
Oh,
but that popcorn, I want to say I'm sorry. My goodness.
Well, hello to Mr. Jackson as well.
Hey, I want to say I'm sorry that I don't have anything good to say about that other popcorn. It was towards the end of the day, but I don't think that should matter. They were in sealed packages, right, and it just was not good. It was not good.
I think the challenge you have with that popcorn
is that I already had decadence popcorn.
You have a reference.
Yes. I even ordered their it was a Chicago style cheddar and
hello to you, sir. Yeah,
cheddar and cheese, and I thought that I'm gonna give them a chance to mix the flavors, and it didn't taste like nothing.
Oh, so anyway, our topic today is wellness. We also want to do two things. We'll talk about how was your weekend. Did you have a good weekend? Did you do anything cool this weekend? We had a great weekend again.
I'm grateful to have had a chance to meet my author. She was actually in North Carolina. She was
so sweet.
All the way from
Cynthia
St.
Moore.
Croix. Yeah.
Yep. She lives in St. Croix, but she was in North Carolina.
For her family.
In Burlington, North Carolina. So we drove to Burlington, North Carolina.
Yeah.
An hour and a half away from our home. And we had a good time with them. They fed us.
It's so funny to hear that. So family reunion, the way that it was so often said is family union. Then when we got home,
family
union. Family union. Just like you go to fume, you go to family union.
Gotta go to a fume.
Gotta go to a fume, go to family union. Amen. Kimberly says we had a wonderful family union in New York. Oh, family in New York, it's a family reunion.
It's a reunion there.
It's a reunion. Amen. But still on our way back this morning. Well, we hope that you get home safe, journey mercies and traveling mercies. Yep. Amen.
I'm telling you, I drive the highways, and this is 2 weekends in a row. I do all the driving on the highways. But I gotta say, the number one problem on the highways is slow drivers in the far left-hand lane. Drives me nuts. And I'm going to talk about them too. I'm going to call them names that I never say any place else but in the car. Okay? I don't ever call anybody these names that I use in the car. I don't ever use profanity like I use in the car. Okay? And it helps me to drive better. I think I drive better when I'm fussing at other drivers.
Good morning, Chef Rev. I do my best to stay out of the conversation. I try not to even look up, because I don't want to see other cars. I don't want to see him bullying the other cars.
I'm not bullying. I'm not bullying them.
You are bullying them.
I'm not bullying them.
I think that's part of your wellness experience.
It could be. We talk about wellness. What do you do to maintain your mental, your spiritual, your social, your all fitness counts too, but I'm focusing mostly on your mental, spiritual, social, vocational, your work.
Amen. Brian, that definitely does bother you. Dr. Deborah's been in the car with Brian.
It bothers me, yes. So I'm gonna talk about them. I'm gonna call them names.
But leave me out of it. I try to spare my stress.
Baby, look at this. Look what they doing. Why'd they even get over here? You got over here to go slower? Is that your job? Is that your job to impede progress?
Is that part of your wellness?
Yes.
That's the way you
Because if I didn't say it, if I didn't relieve it, it would still be in there. And then I could walk around all day long. There used to be a movie starring Robin Williams called The Angriest Man in Brooklyn.
Yes, I watched it recently, actually.
This guy fussed at everybody and everything. He got stuff off his chest.
Prime.
Yeah, he got stuff off his chest all the time. You know, I mean, you mess up any of his orders or anything, he had to, and then it got to be a thing with the family to impersonate him. Okay, the waiter interrupt them or say something off, then everybody go in because that's what they did. Wellness. How do you maintain your wellness? Mental wellness, spiritual wellness, social wellness. Social wellness, yes.
Emotional wellness.
Emotional wellness. What you got to do, to maintain your social wellness, you got to have some friends. You need some friends.
Friends. How many of us have them? Friends. Ones you can
friends,
depend
not
on.
Just the ones in your house either. I think that matters. We need a connection to people. We do. Social, spiritual, wellness. You know, a lot of times we get all in knots and twisted mentally when we're far away from God. We're not talking to Him regularly. In my opinion.
Spiritual wellness is definitely imperative. And
I wrote that up as one of my targets. I'm getting closer and closer to God. I'm talking to God. I'm maintaining my relationships with God. I think that matters to me.
It does.
You know, when I'm closer to Him, I'm not as stressed. I feel better when I'm closer to God.
It does.
And the way I get closer to God is talking to Him more often. Some people call that prayer to maintain your wellness.
Amen. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. Thank you for joining us this morning. Prayer is definitely a way to get close to God. Amen.
And reading His Word.
Amen. Reading His Word is how I find to get closer, because oftentimes when I'm looking for a direction, a solution, I try to look where He has done what I need done before.
Umpteen times.
No, not in my life. I'm
Okay.
going to the Bible, going to the Word, and trying to find someone who is in or has been in a scenario that I am experiencing, so that I can get their insight.
Dr. Beverly says,
good morning, my awesome, beautiful family. Well, good morning to you from your awesome, beautiful family.
And good morning to the beautiful Dr. Beverly, uniquely taking over Thomas. Let me tell you this, Dr. Beverly.
Thank you for your support this week.
She showed up to the event where Lisa was going to speak. And Dr. Beverly, you can confirm because you was there. It was an event, but if you didn't know this was going to happen, which none of us did. A lot of exercising was going on. I mean, modified jumping jacks where you don't have to jump, and squatting and moving, a lot of exercise. Can I get an amen, Dr. Beverly? You did a lot more exercise that night than you thought you was going to do. There was a lot of exercising within this event.
It was.
They got everybody up and moving, Dr. Deborah, a lot of times. It was like 3 speakers in a row that made you exercise. I was about to start my talk with, okay, let's first start off with 20 push-ups. Let's go. But I forgot to do it. Because,
it was a workout. The whole thing was a physical workout. And I am usually separate and isolated when I am going to speak. And if I'm not in a different space, I will go into a different area and I'm not be in the midst of all the brouhaha. Brouhaha. Yeah,
all of that.
All of the brouhaha. But because this was a more intimate, amen, I was actually in the midst of it and participated in some of the activities. I'm like saying to myself, I'm going to be wore out before I even speak. Amen.
But Dr. Beverly says, I needed that.
My back was tight and those moves loosened me up. Well, they definitely got us loose because they had all kind of side bends, back bends, crossovers, and everything else. And I said, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, different. I mean, not just one speaker, too, different ones. And these people were in what they thought was for an event. Some of them had on dresses, some of them had on shorts, and all that kind of stuff too. But it didn't look like everybody came there to work out.
No.
Yes, most people were casual. Okay, we all were casual, I would say. I don't think anybody had on a real suit. Even I was kind of casual too.
I had on a dress.
Lisa had on a dress and heels.
Yes, and heels. A dress,
but still was doing the movements though.
Yes, I was doing them. I was not trying to make them feel uncomfortable. Good morning, Sheila. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Sister Sheila Gothard. How was your weekend also?
And did you do something for wellness? I felt like we had social wellness this weekend.
Yes, today's topic, in case you don't know, is how do you take care of your own wellness? Taking care of your own wellness. And we're defining wellness in a broad way. Wellness in your mental, spiritual, social, environmental, vocational, all of that. How do you maintain your head when the pressures that invariably come from all these areas? How do you do it? Wellness. And I'm so glad that Sister Sheila and Dr. Deborah and Dr. Beverly are in the room right now because I want your insights.
Absolutely. Good morning, Cynthia B. Cynthia B. Moore, and the B is for best-selling.
There you go. Cynthia Moore, we hung out with her this weekend. Cynthia, I was so happy to meet you in person, first off. And you were so sweet to us and me. You were so gracious and friendly. Thank you, Cynthia, for making us feel welcome and warm around your family at your family union.
That's right, Kim.
And her smile was so sweet.
Absolutely.
And she sold some books right there at her family reunion, y'all. She ain't playing. She ain't playing.
At the family reunion.
But I'm so happy to have been there.
Family reunion.
And Cynthia, I can't wait to be with you in your city, in St. Croix, in Christianstad, St. Croix.
Funny that there were some people that came in the room that were like, "Who are you?"
About me, Lisa, and I. Yeah. Well, they want to know. They know our faces.
No. One lady said, "So, what's your name?" Because I did have a name tag, and she said, "So, what's your name?" And I told her my name, and she said, "Who's your people?"
I got asked that too because that's a fair question. They don't know our face.
You had a family reunion.
This lady's like, I ain't seen y'all at none of the family functions before. So I went ahead and made name tags for Lisa and I, so that we can do it. Because one lady came to me and says, "How am I supposed to talk to y'all and you don't have a name tag on?" I said, "Okay, I'll go get a name tag."
It was good. And then having the opportunity to go and sit, rest, have some fellowship with a family friend, and just a blessed time. It was the exit in Burlington, North Carolina, where Cynthia's family reunion was at the same exit as J&R Cigar Outlet. You know what that meant?
It's a huge cigar outlet. It's a destination place. It's a place that you don't want to drive past if you're a cigar enthusiast. You got to stop in there to get something. And I got only 2 sticks. Normally, I could buy a lot more in there. But I went there for a specific stick. I wanted a stick that wasn't too short, wasn't too long. I wanted it very fat. Okay, but I have nubs already. I didn't want a nub, short, fat one. I wanted longer than that fat. And I found it.
Sheila Gothard says, "My wellness consists of light exercise.
Amen.
But mostly facials with the infrared lights."
Really?
And my favorite is back facials. I don't know what a back facial is.
I don't know what a back facial is either. It sounds like an oxymoron, but I'm sure that is something. Facials with infrared lights? That's like a tanning salon kind of thing, like a tanning bed with the infrared lights, but she does it just for her face. Is that what I'm guessing, Cynthia? Sheila? And Cynthia says,
"Remember, it was a success because there were no fights."
Yes.
That's right. A family reunion with no
successful fights. Family reunion, no fights.
That's right.
In my family, there's 2 sides. One side, my father's side, is the side that gets along the most. There's never going to be any fighting there. Okay. My mother's side is a little different. It's iffy because it could be fights and it could be arguments. And there's often an undertone of who's mad at who. Okay. That's how it is in my family.
Amen. All right, Dr. Deborah. She said, "I had to work this weekend because of grant deadlines, but I did listen to great music from different genres, and music refreshes."
Music.
Absolutely.
That could certainly be a part of anyone's wellness programs. Music. And listening to different genres. When you're traveling, when you're driving, you lose your favorite stations. And I like the scan button. Okay, because I don't have satellite radio in the car. So
good morning, Brother Mark.
Although I think we should put it there. Is that Mark Greer? Good morning, Mark Greer. How was your weekend? We're talking about wellness as well as how was your weekend?
Absolutely.
And wellness we're defining in a broad way. How do you maintain your wellness when it comes to your mental, spiritual, social, environmental, and vocational wellness?
Absolutely. My vocational wellness is working on a project that is the right tenor.
It has to be stimulating, I think, for you.
Well, and not only stimulating, like interesting. I mean, I've had
Mhm.
some projects that are more autobiographical by nature. So those you're more concerned about interest, but also there have been many projects that are more contemplative that I had to work on. And those are very fulfilling as well. Sheila said they have a room for just smoking at that cigar
Place.
place. I'm often one of the few women there, but I'm always dressed up very classy when I go. They don't get it twisted. I'm not one of the guys.
You're not one of the guys, and I did not know that you smoked cigars. Sister Sheila, did you know? This is news for me.
I think she mentioned it before.
Well, cool. Cool cigar smokers. And my daughter don't want me to tell anybody this. Okay. She smokes cigars.
So don't tell them.
With me. She's deal with her dad. So don't tell her. I won't tell anybody else, okay?
Just you.
She smoked a cigar with her dad. I think women that smoke cigars are cool. I think it's a great thing. We used to go to this one cigar bar. They had women's night on Thursday night, ladies' night on Thursday night at the cigar bar. But the cool thing they did was they did classes for the women. They'd get them in a group, and then somebody would give them a class, and then the person would take them into the humidor and explain different things to them. And then they would pick some cigars, and they would take them back out, and they would walk them through how to open their cigars, how to do the cigars. And I thought that was such a cool class, you know.
Sheila said there's a whole community of women cigar smokers.
I do know this.
It. Yeah, absolutely.
I do know this. I'm a part of several Facebook groups, and there's a lot of women in them.
Cynthia said, my wellness encompasses walks, beach swims,
amen,
riding, connecting with friends, and communing with God.
What a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
And that's a wonderful way to put it succinctly, too.
Mm-hmm.
To maintain her head, she takes walks. She has some beach swims.
Yeah, I've had conversations with her where she said that she's going to go take a swim before she goes to work. I'm like, a swim before? I would live in the water.
That is such a beautiful thing. I'm going to take me a swim before I go to work.
The beach.
At the beach.
In the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yes. But if you had a pool, would you swim before work then?
No.
You wouldn't?
It's not the same.
It's not the same?
No.
You go back and forth with that because I've asked you that question different ways before.
I like the pool. I like going into a pool. But like for the reflective readings.
Really, Miss Phyllis?
Yeah, for the reflective, I prefer the beach.
I got you. I prefer the beach too. I prefer to go to the beach and sit out in a beach chair because I don't want to get on the ground anymore for some reason. Even the low beach, we got the low beach chairs and the taller ones. With the regular size beach chair, the taller beach chair, I like to sit close to the water with a cigar and watch the waves.
Amen.
It just does something for me. And I could do it for hours. As long as I got, covering for my head if the sun is out. But
Amen.
Just watching the rhythm of the waves, and I watch in front of me, and I watch down there, and I watch down there. And on the surface, you don't see much life happening. But if you sit there for a while, you see a lot of life. You see crabs, you see fish, you see birds, you see a lot of natural life around you.
Interesting. Miss Phyllis said, love the water. I forgot cleaning.
As a part of her wellness, cleaning. Interesting.
Absolutely. And Miss Phyllis said, real close to the water. I don't have to get in the water.
Right. I get you. I get that. Real close. I ain't got to get in no more. That's going to be another show topic. I was going to suggest that too.
I like to get in the water. I like to get in the ocean, but I prefer the temperature to be like 80.
Okay. But the show topic I was going to suggest was stuff we don't do anymore. Stuff that we used to do and no longer do anymore. I want to do that show topic one day too. What's Dr. Beverly talking about?
Dr. Beverly said, my wellness starts with remembering to eat great things that's healing my body.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Then my emotional wellness begins with the powerful no that I found. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Lisa. You're very welcome. No is great. Keep one in your pocket. My spiritual wellness, I
Next
listen.
spiritual.
My next spiritual wellness, I listen to the Bible. I intentionally speak my strengthening affirmations. My financial wellness, I get to find ways to set myself up for the future so that my children won't suffer, and then so my grands have something to look forward to. Amen.
There's so much good I want to talk about that. Dr. Beverly, let's catch up the comments though.
Sister Sheila says, I'll inbox pics of my back facial. I was looking for one, but I found my cigar pic first. LOL. She sent the cigar pic.
Okay.
Woo-hoo.
Yep, that is hot. That's a sexy picture of Sheila Gothard with a cigar. Let me make it.
You gonna try to make it big?
That's what she said. Oh
my goodness. That is a beautiful picture.
I know, and the lighting on it too, that's hot.
Amen. It's nice to walk in the water, but we have to get grounded in sand and dirt. Absolutely. My grandfather actually recommends that a lot. And there was a young man.
Whoa, what was that? It's nice to walk in the water, but we have to get grounded in
sand and dirt.
Oh, wow.
Remember that guy? I think his name was Roy.
Mm-hmm. But we know two Roys. One is the karate instructor.
Yeah, the karate guy.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I had him talk to my grandfather, and I listened in on their conversation, and both of them were talking about the importance of grounding and going outside and grounding. Actually, I think William Brown actually talks about grounding a bit as well.
Now, when you guys are talking, the way you're talking about going outside and grounding, you're talking about barefoot in the dirt.
Yes, barefoot in the grass. Absolutely. Okay. Grass and dirt. Amen. Miss Phyllis said, walk in your backyard barefoot. Absolutely.
We have a beautiful backyard for that too.
Brian is never.
I do it all the time.
Brian is never barefoot. Taking a drive in the back roads and taking in the scenery is part of my emotional wellness. Amen, Dr. Deborah.
As high as gas is.
Scenery is a beautiful thing. I used to actually go to Hiptonite Valley, and their scenery is so beautiful that I would want to pull my car over to the side of the road and just walk in it.
I was rereading Dr. Beverly's thought just then, because I had a thought that she reminded me of. If you were to watch CNBC, the financial channel, all day long, and then if you were to read financial books and financial magazines, and if you were to watch financial shows, and if you were to watch financial videos on YouTube about how to be smart with your money, how to manage your money, if you did that all the time, if you did it often, what's going to be the result of that? If you did that for a long time, very often, versus if you read fishing shows and watch fishing magazines and watch fishing videos all the time, what's going to be the result of that? Okay, and whatever you're taking in a lot of, there's going to be a result of it. And watching what Dr. Beverly just put in there, she's talking about she listens to the Bible. There are a lot of different ways you can listen to the Bible.
Amen. Okay. Good morning, William Brown. We
just talked you out.
We just called you out. Amen. Sheila says, yes, putting your feet in the dirt is a thing. I haven't done it, but Ayanla Van Zant, as well as a couple of friends, live by it. Absolutely. Grounding is a very, very healthy.
I think we got to do that today. Y'all keep talking it up. We're going to go in our backyard, but it might be a little wet too, and it's kind of cloudy right now because it did rain and storm yesterday here. But we got to take off our shoes and walk in the bare grass. William Brown, she brought your name up about that too?
Yes, because William Brown practices grounding as well. Miss Phyllis said, I used to all the time, 2012 to 2015, not as much now. Well, I can imagine not as much now in New York.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to start doing it more often? Grounding.
I don't have a problem with grounding.
Are you going to start doing it more often?
I go outside barefoot all the time.
Are you going to start doing it more often, Lisa? I had to say it 3 times. She still didn't say yes.
Because I don't understand what you're even implying.
Are you going to do it more often?
I don't not do it.
You don't do it that often. You do it rarely if you do it.
If I go outside, I go outside barefoot.
That's why I'm asking, will you do it more often?
Amen.
Amen. It's not an answer.
Amen. Miss Phyllis says you can stand in the earth. Yes, that's right. You can stand in the earth. You can stand in it. You can stand in there, put your feet in it, and you can feel the energy up through it. That was one of the things that my grandfather, who is still with us, I think he's 84 now as well. I'm not sure, but he believes that the buildings contributed to his aging. That when he lost his sight, he had to spend more time inside because there were not people to take him outside, and he feels like being inside the buildings with all these electrical currents and with all of this solid stuff, and not having the ability to be bare feet in the grass, because now he lives in the Bronx in a building,
Right.
as opposed to in the islands where he could just walk outside and stand in the grass.
I believe he's probably right. There's probably so much truism in that.
Absolutely. Miss Phyllis said it's energizing. It is, absolutely. Dr. Deborah says, yes, I like to walk in the bare grass and then come in the house and wash all the cat poop off my feet.
I don't
have any cat poop.
I don't want to walk on any cat poop at all.
Sister Sheila said it would be counterproductive for me to walk outside barefoot. I would be so stressed out with the fear of bugs, worms, and cutting off my feet. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Stressed out with the fear of bugs and worms.
Find just a special patch that you keep clear of bugs and worms and glass and anything that can cut you, and just stand in that patch. It doesn't have to be a big patch.
Or if you keep it moving, they're not going to jump on you. If you keep walking around, just keep moving. Bugs can't crawl on you when you're moving.
Oh my goodness.
They'll try to avoid you. Just keep it moving. Walk slowly though, so you can just feel it. Walk slowly, but keep it moving.
But these experiences, these reflective experiences, are really worth. Not only do they help to keep your wellness, but they also create opportunities to glean wisdom from God.
If you're still long enough, he'll talk to you.
Absolutely.
Can you believe it's already 9:41?
Amen.
It's time for us to do the greeting songs and the greeting logos.
Good morning, Minister Carr. Good morning. Oh, amen. William Brown said, I have not done it since being in Vegas. I have been afraid of what's in the dirt and rocks in the desert. Most of the grass is used by the dogs, and people don't pick up after their dogs around here. What? How can people not pick up after their dogs? And yes, I definitely agree about not walking barefoot in the desert, not for the rocks, but for the snakes.
Y'all are tripping. There's not snakes everywhere you walk.
No, there's snakes in the desert.
I think here in Charlotte, they do a good job of picking up their poop.
Yes, they do.
They do a good. Everyone seems to have bought into it.
Be very poop conscious. They're very poop conscious in Charlotte. Absolutely, I agree.
But it's time for us to thank our guests the way we do it. This show's been going on since October of 2016, Monday through Friday. That means we've done thousands of these shows. That's right, Monday through Friday. And some of you guys have been rocking with us for years. Some of you guys are consistent contributors. And those of you, we like to thank. And the contributors, anyone who says something in the morning.
Say something so that we can say something back to you and appreciate the time that you share with us so that we can continuously build and grow.
So we're going to thank you the way we do it here. We're going to start from the top, please. And we do that with greeting songs and with greeting logos. Up first today was Miss Phyllis. She has a greeting logo and it goes, Miss Phyllis is here.
Miss Phyllis is here.
So clear the way.
Miss
Phyllis is here. Now we can all have
here.
a great day. Good morning, Miss Phyllis.
Hey, man. Good morning. Good morning, Sister Kimberly Jackson and Brother Jackson. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Dr. Deborah.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
Ooh, I am for real. Dr. Deborah, trauma healing and manifestation coach.
Dr. Beverly has a logo and it goes, Dr. Beverly is on the show. Good morning, Dr. Beverly.
Good morning to you. Hey, it's Sheila. Sheila. Storms are brewing in her eyes.
Oh.
Hey, Sister Sheila. Sister Cynthia Sister Cynthia, bestseller more. We got to get your song together. We could have worked on it this weekend.
We could have. Now, let me tell you, I've got several pictures. Now, Lisa wouldn't be considered a cigar smoker, I wouldn't say. But in the beginning, she used to smoke a little bit more often with me. And I got several sexy pictures of Lisa with a cigar. I got her by herself with a cigar. I got her with me with a cigar. I got you with Sophia President and a cigar. I got you with Carmelita and Sunday with a cigar.
Absolutely.
I got lots of pictures of Lisa sexy with a cigar.
Absolutely.
You realize I got these pictures there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Why do you have a problem having the pictures?
No, I ain't know if you remembered. I got all these pictures of you smoking cigars.
Yes. And most of them were posed. Because I do a lot more posing with cigars than I did smoking cigars.
Yeah, that's true. She was terrible for that for a season. For a season, she wasn't finishing them. No. But she'll start it and take pictures with it and then put it down.
Amen. Brother William Brown is in the building.
We do. We did Dr. Deborah. I thought we did something.
Brother William Brown is in the building.
William Brown has a jam too. Good morning to our friend Will.
Nobody thinks like him still.
We love him so, and we always will. Our friend Will. Good morning to our friend Will.
Good morning. Good morning. I saw Brother Mark come on into the room, and I saw some comments.
Mark Greer says, he says, let me get my head right. You have to scroll down, Mark. He says, mental wellness is always at the top of my list. For me, everything begins there. I make a conscious decision to never allow anything to enter my mind that does not belong there.
Amen.
If no junk is allowed in, no junk will come out.
Amen.
The mental well-being leads to the emotional well-being. I love it. The emotional well-being opens up the physical well-being.
Amen.
Naturally. I can only speak what works for me. Everyone just has to find what works for them. I love that. I love that thought, Mark.
Praise
How
God.
your mental leads to the emotional, which leads to the physical. I love that. Thank you for that submission.
Brother Mark's song.
Mark Greer has a song as well, and it goes, so wide you can't get around it.
So low you can't get under a hat.
So high you can't get over it. Mark Greer is under a groove. He's getting down just for the funk of it. Mark Greer is under a groove. Nothing can stop us now. Another thing Mark Greer said, he says, if no junk comes in,
amen,
no junk comes out. There used to be a term called GIGO. Garbage in, garbage out. Okay.
I didn't know you knew that.
I know all things that I know. That's true.
Good morning,
Dr.
Beverly
says,
she says, walking barefoot in the sand is therapeutic. It definitely is. The water is wonderful, and the thought of a tree is absolutely promising.
The thought of a tree. There's several videos on YouTube that I enjoy so much, but the trees can talk. Talking trees, how the trees talk to each other, how the trees work in community with each other. I watched several of these amazing videos, how trees, if one tree is sick, how other trees help the sick tree. Amazing.
Amen. William Brown says, thank you. This conversation has encouraged me to get grounded today.
Me too, William.
Amen.
Maybe you want to do it too.
Hey, Craig.
Craig
says, good morning, everyone, and hope everyone have a great, blessed day on purpose and enjoy it to the fullest. Craig, we're glad you made it.
Craig Sab, 1,000 degrees, you'll be on your knees and you'll be burning back and please. Brother Freeze. Craig,
hey, Craig,
let me borrow your VCR so I can dub a tape. Sophia, we just talked you up, my sister, and she says,
smoochy, smoochy.
I didn't want to read that. I let Lisa read
Mama sang fire! Yeah.
I think we got more than one picture of you and Sophia smoking cigars.
Yes, but Sophia got some sexy cigar pictures.
She does?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
Absolutely.
I think it's sexy. Okay, so yes.
Craig says, sorry, been missing a show, dealing with a lot, just trying to stay focused and stay afloat. Amen. Well, we are covering you in prayer.
We talked about that a lot today. Today's topic was wellness. Mental wellness, spiritual wellness, emotional wellness, vocational wellness, and social wellness. Mm-hmm. Yes, those different things. And what can you do? The reason why we wanted to have it as a topic, because these are things I think you need strategies for, because you're going to need them again and again. Absolutely. Not just for today.
Absolutely.
Even if you get through all of your stresses today, next week, next month, next year, there's going to be something else. Mm-hmm. So you need ways of dealing with the stuff that's going to keep coming, I believe.
Absolutely. And learning how to, for me, a lot of mental wellness was really, really, really being diligent about what I consume, about what I listen to. And for a couple of years then, it meant that I had to stay away from everything. I couldn't go near the television, the Facebook, to anything, because there was so much going on in the world that I knew that I could not maintain my peace of mind and still be inundated with those things.
When I first met Lisa, when we first started spending a night, okay, when I first started spending a night with her,
we were married.
No, we weren't married.
No,
long before we were married. But she had the habit at the time of waking up to Joyce Meyer or Les Brown or every morning she was playing that stuff. And I thought it was refreshing because I was doing the same thing in another city. There were so many things that we both were doing in different cities. In the morning, I always had something motivational as I brushed my teeth and shaved. And Lisa was doing the same thing in her house. And I thought that was, oh, she does like I do. Okay. But that was interesting to me. Yep.
Absolutely. Craig says, I missed the show. Some of the topics is what I'm dealing with now. You know why? Because you're breathing.
Yeah.
So many of us are dealing with life.
Because we are breathing.
Because we're living. That's why you're dealing with life, because you're living. Amen. Brother William Brown says, funny, I'm starting to community and networking group called Well Connected. You're starting a community and networking group called Well Connected.
Amen. I know it's going to be amazing. Lisa just said, you know why you're going through so much stuff? Because you're breathing. There's so many tenets. Like the basic tenet of the Buddhist faith is that all of life is suffering. Okay, every flower, every tree, every person, every worm, every horse, they're dealing with something. All of living things are suffering and going through something at any given moment. Okay, and if you can start with that, we all are going through something. Okay, it makes it easier to treat each other better.
Amen.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't run any of the commercials.
Run the sisters or mine or whatever.
Absolutely. This coming October 13th, 14th, and 15th, we want to be sure that you remember to sign up for the Sisters, Inspire Sisters to Advance Retreat, and that you still continue to check out 932. William said, Lisa, thanks for helping me. I'm creating it because I need it. Absolutely. That's why we create everything. Become what you needed. Become for others what you needed so that together we can have everything. Because
Toni Morrison, the author of Color Purple and other books too. People ask, why did you write that book? She says, I wrote this book because I wanted to read it. She wrote it because I wanted to read it. William Brown, I'm starting this group because I need it.
Absolutely.
That's what you do.
And I am grateful for it.
Whoa, Des Gerald, thanks for sliding through. We getting ready to get out of here, though. The show starts at 9 a.m.
And we appreciate you for joining us this morning. We'll see you tomorrow for Thankful Tuesday. And don't forget, I know
Alice Walker, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Toni Morrison is the one that made the quote. She wrote something. Okay. But thank you.
Different book. But don't forget to have sex. We'll talk to you tomorrow.